Akaash. Our boy Akaash. We have to talk about our boy Akaash.
We got to address the elephant in the room, no pun intended. Okay?
Elephant.
As I'm sure you guys are aware, our boy Akaash, he really went through it earlier this year, showed amazing resilience. He is going to be stepping.
Is that what we call amazing resilience? Amazing resilience. He cracked under pressure and, okay, we're going to keep going.
Away from the pod. It is bittersweet. You know, we wished it. He did not want to do that.
First week this is happening, she goes, you know what, baby? God knows what's true. We know what's true.
That's right.
What else matters? Who cares?
Let's see what else matters. The fans pay your bills. The fans buy your bags, Jasleen. So you would think that maybe the only thing you care about is the fans. It would be maybe not the only thing you care about, but very, very high on the list. And when people bring up God in situations like this, like people always want to bring up God to justify some stuff. Like it's like, don't bring up God when God shouldn't be brought up. And this is one of those situations.
Anybody thinks. And I was like, I care. What are you talking about? Were you crazy?
I don't know. I don't feel like things really phase you like that. So I couldn't gauge
No,
if it really hurt.
I was deeply phased.
But what hurt you about?
I just want to let you know, like,
how is he not phased? He left his podcast. He quit his source of income. How is he not phased? Nessa, like, what are you saying? That whole interview was ridiculous.
like I know the periphery of Akaash's fan base, which is, I will say, more of the podcast fan base, and his comedy fans are not like that. It's more the podcast fan base. I don't think really resonate with him because a lot of them are like really racist and right wing. We're
Racist and right wing. A lot of them are racist and right wing. Okay. Yeah, that's not true.
girls being opinionated and they don't like opinionated women, but the misogyny was like really crazy. Obviously, we know it exists in our society, but to see it so rampant and like full force and just like
So it's misogyny because we don't want to see you disrespect your husband, our boy, on the internet. That's misogyny. So you think that you say your husband's balls stink on the internet and we're now misogynist because we say you shouldn't say that? No, you're a horrible person. And now you're calling us racists because we don't want a brown girl to speak? No, we want you to speak. Just don't disrespect him. Maybe not. Don't talk about him. Don't talk about him at all. Have a podcast. Talk about anything else. Why are you talking about your co-host's husband? Why are you talking about your own husband? You're literally ruining his career right in front of our eyes and you don't care. And then you have the nerve to call people who are calling you out racist and misogynist.
apologetically there.
Stay the fuck off these podcasts. Don't be on these mother podcasts. Don't be an influencer, okay?
It's official, Akaash Singh has quit Flagrant. After months of hiding while his wife did interview after interview making everything worse, Andrew Schultz finally confirmed on yesterday's episode that Akaash is stepping away from the podcast to focus on stand-up. If you haven't been following this saga on this channel, Akaash's wife Jasleen started a podcast, said some of the wildest shit imaginable about her dating history and her obsession with another man, humiliated Akaash in front of millions of people, and then doubled and tripled down across multiple interviews when the backlash hit, instead of keeping her mouth shut and disappearing from the internet. Instead,
the thing is, she's not going to disappear from the internet. I think everyone needs to realize this. She is not going to disappear from the internet. She wants to be on the internet. She wants some of the fame. Get that. Like, do your makeup tutorials. Do the things that normally people do on the internet. You don't need to talk crap about Akaash. That's literally the only thing, at least that I'm saying. All you have to do is not talk crap about Akaash. But she knows that the only thing people care that she would be talking about is Akaash. That's why she's talking about Akaash.
her husband's the one who disappeared, and now it's official, he ain't coming back. Flagrant tried to address it last year by bringing Jasleen on the show in what I called the worst episode in Flagrant history. Shortly after that, you guys voted Akaash the lolcow of the year for 2020.
That was absolutely the worst podcast of Flagrant ever. Ever. And Flagrant's been around for a very long time. It was disastrous and it was embarrassing. It was absolutely diabolical that they thought that would actually work.
25, and then he just disappeared. I also covered his first interview back a few weeks ago, where he basically told us exactly what was about to happen, and in my last video, I predicted that he wouldn't be coming back to Flagrant because of the things he was saying in that interview.
But do you feel like, how do I say this? I don't want to say it's like, is it on site or are you evolved at this point?
There's certain people that it's like, I don't know if it's on site or what, but it's like, I think God will give you yours, and you know,
Sure.
that's
God again.
I kind of remember that, but there's a side of me that's like, maybe it's a short guy thing, but I really identify with like Kendrick Lamar, where it's like, if we want beef, I'll destroy everything, I'll burn everything down. There's a little part of me that's pre-therapy.
No, we don't want that.
That's like, I don't care about the money.
Yeah, burn everything down because everyone is trying to help you. Like, I don't think a lot of the simp narrative that's going around is because we're trying to like because being nice isn't getting through to him. That's the problem. People being nice isn't getting through to him. So people feel like they have to go with this simp narrative, like, so he could be like woken up, like, hey, get out of the sunken place. Seriously.
I don't care about whatever. You came on my wife. Let's just burn it all down.
You know, you need to thank her, right?
All the time. I buy her nonstop things.
Bro, what burning are we talking about? Because the only thing that got burned down was your own career. And you
Literally.
didn't even do that. Your wife, Jasleen, did. He says he doesn't care about the money, doesn't care about whatever. Well, isn't that convenient? Because you just gave up the biggest revenue stream you've ever had. And it wasn't even
Yes.
your choice. Your wife made that choice for you. Like, this whole thing is just so wild. He's talking all hard about it being on site, and then he quits Flagrant altogether. And look, I will give him credit for one thing. At least he admitted it actually got to him when Jasleen told him God knows what's true, and that should be enough. He straight up said, I care. What are you talking about, bitch? Are you crazy? Which is probably the most honest thing he said in years. But then he pivoted into this whole narrative about how fame is a monster, the internet is full of terrible people who need to find a better existence, and God was showing him what really matters. The cope is wild. His career has been
crazy.
completely destroyed, and he's acting like it's divine intervention. And
He's acting like he literally goes, oh, you know, burn it all down, whatever. I don't care. Oh, it got to me. Like, oh, I don't care about the money. Okay, but it's all not making sense. It's all not flowing together. Like the words that are coming out of his mouth are not flowing with his actions, like do not correlate with his actions. And then he's trying to act hard. Bro, you're not hard. You quit. You quit the podcast. Like you literally let the quote unquote haters win.
don't even get me started on that bullshit about how he should be thanking her. That's the kind of logic where your girl sleeps with all your buddies and then tells you that you should be thanking her for proving they weren't your real friends. I don't even know what that is. It's not even toxic. It's just straight up evil.
I should thank her for ruining my career and getting rid of all my money. Yeah, like, thank you.
But like I said, Andrew Schultz announced that Akaash was hanging up the podcast mic and wasn't coming back to the Flagrant podcast he founded with Schultz almost a decade ago because this whole experience with his wife humiliating him to the world has made him realize that he should be focusing on his stand-up comedy career instead.
But the experience.
Every single, well, not every single, but a lot of podcasters, or almost all of them, or sorry, not podcasters, stand-ups, have podcasts. You go tour on the weekends. So Monday through Friday, they do their podcasts or they go on other people's podcasts. This idea that like, I can't be on Flagrant anymore because I should focus on my stand-up is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And anyone who watched podcasts knows that that is complete BS. It's not true. Like, it's not a thing. It's an excuse he's using so that he doesn't say, my wife made me quit my podcast that's making me millions of dollars.
Experience has put things in perspective for him. And
Perspective.
he's made the decision to focus all of his energy on stand-up.
Is that why he
going to be
unfollowed you?
stepping away from the pod. It is bittersweet. You know, we wish that he did not want to do that. But at the same time, you know, it's very hard not to root for your friend, you know, literally living his dreams. And if he feels he's got to give everything to that, then that's exactly what he's got to do. And we're going to rock with him. We hope you guys continue to rock with him. Go check out the show. We saw the show, Radio City. It's phenomenal.
I don't
You guys
rock with
should absolutely
simps.
go check it out. AkaashSingh.com for tickets. So we just wanted to, you know, clear the air. Akaash hasn't been on the pod for a while. We thought it was time that we, you know, talk to you guys about it.
And he had the nerve to not even come on for our last episode. And now he's unfollowed Charlamagne and Andrew Schultz, and D-Jack and all these other people. It's like all of these people are trying to help you. And I feel like those three people specifically have been very nice in the way that they're tiptoeing around the situation and trying to talk as nice as they can in public. Because you know damn well DJ Academics is not behind the scenes being as nice as he is being online. He's not.
Thoughts, boys?
Thoughts,
So
boys.
there it is, Schultz confirming what
Not the real thoughts. They can't say their real thoughts out in public.
everybody already knew, but even Schultz is framing this as if it was some sort of spiritual awakening, as if Akaash went on a soul-searching retreat to the mountains and did yoga, came back with post-nut clarity. The experience was his wife telling the internet she wanted to ride her friend's husband's 10 inches while Akaash watched. That's
Insane.
the experience that
Insane.
puts things into perspective. And the whole pitch about he's made the decision to focus all of his energy on stand-up, actually, let me come back to that because you guys have to see this. Imagine you started a podcast with your buddy 10 years ago, put out over 700 episodes, built one of the biggest and most profitable Patreons in the world.
In the
bringing in
world.
6 figures a month each. And then when you decide to move on, this is all you get. 3.5 minutes followed by, yeah, so anyway.
I'm really curious to find out, I don't know if this will ever come out, if it was Andrew's decision for Akaash not to do a final episode, or if Akaash made the decision not to do a final episode. And I guarantee, I don't know them personally, that Andrew's the kind of person, Andrew probably asked him, can you at least do a final episode? And he was probably like, F you, bro, I'm unfollowing you. Like the simp that he is. You know, him and Will Smith should like go be friends now. Everything Akaash has said about Will Smith is absolutely null and void at this point, and they should go become best friends.
It's bittersweet because this is my brother. I love him. I was here day one of this podcast. And
Al
it's
wants to
like,
say so
all right,
much.
We started together, end together. Bad boys for life.
Yeah.
Some gay shit.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, man, I'm proud of him. I'm just so proud. Like being at Radio City and just seeing
Crazy.
like just everybody was animated. Like they
If you want me to believe that he would have got Radio City without being on Flagrant, you're not going to convince me of that. You're not. It's not true.
loved it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just proud of him. And I think back to when we surprised him when I came home from Sweden.
Oh yeah, his reaction
Yo,
was incredible.
his reaction, like he didn't even care the cameras were there, jumped up, gave me the
Aw.
biggest bear hug. I didn't know he was that strong.
Yeah, for those of you guys maybe were new
Cute.
listeners, Alex got locked up when we were on tour in Sweden, and we didn't tell Akaash that he got out.
Yeah.
And then there's an earlier episode where he just bursts in the room, and Akaash sees him for the first time, thinking he was in jail the whole time, and Akaash just goes crazy, and it was just pure.
OG Flagrant. OG Flagrant. Okay, before this demon serpent woman entered his life. Or I guess until he married her, because I think they were dating back then. But man, those were the OG Flagrant days.
Love was beautiful.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I love you, brother, but you know, we'll see each other, so it's all good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's cool to see all the like the venues he's selling out and everything that he's doing. I remember even like when I very first came to New York, riding in an Uber with him, and he was talking about this exact thing. You know, he's like, "Yeah, man, like the pod's cooking, but like I want to be that guy." And then now he's doing all the stuff that he said.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just really exciting. Like as a comic, I think we can understand. It's like, yeah, dude, you have an opportunity. I mean, he's going to be an MSG like soon.
Go get it.
He could be at MSG with Andrew. This idea that his trajectory is going to continue to go up and up and up, it's just not the case. He's still on this like high, quote unquote, because of the scandal. You can't even call it a scandal, but like because of the situation. Once this situation dies down, people forget who he is because they don't see him on Flagrant every week. He is not going to be selling out. I'm sorry. Like, and then Jasleen even mentioned at one point, oh, his fans, you know, a lot of his fans don't even know about the podcast, which is like, how is that even a thing? They're probably people who just come to the comedy clubs. But if you're going to be selling out and you're going to be filling up MSG, you have to have that podcast component. Like, I can't believe they're trying to act like it's not important.
Man,
Go
so
get it.
it's cool to see.
Yeah, man. Just a lot of memories. Yeah, yeah. But listen, go out and support Akaash, man. Go send him some messages. Show him some love, dude.
Andrew's just being
He's a
nice.
man. He's getting after it, and he's going to continue to crush it.
Yeah. Go get a ticket to the show if there's tickets left.
Yep.
Yeah.
There are.
And yeah, I guess now for Indian representation on the podcast.
It's got to be Alex.
Yeah, Alex can take it.
Okay.
Ew. Never again.
I love you,
Please
man.
do the rest of the pod. In that accent. Please do it. You flying back tonight?
That whole segment played out like a funeral for someone who's still alive. They were channeling strong Bert Kreischer vibes right there. But there's a version of this where they're actually honest, you know, where Schultz says the Jasleen situation made it impossible for Akaash to come back because every single comment is just roasting the shit out of him. You know, where they acknowledge that his wife torched his relationship with his own audience and the only option left was for him to leave. That version doesn't.
People were torching him. Okay. People were torching him in the comments because it had just happened. If you had just ignored the situation, wrote it out, it would have disappeared and you would have been fine. Here's the issue. Akaash disappeared from the podcast, so all the comments turned into, where's Akaash? Where the hell is Akaash? And they said at one point in the Patreon, oh, Akaash is touring in Australia. So like me, I'm even up here in like the comments trying to support this man. And I'm like, oh, Akaash is in Australia, y'all. Like, because I guess you don't subscribe to the Patreon. You don't know. Akaash is touring in Australia right now. That's why he's not on the podcast. No, they told us that he's in Australia and touring, and that's why he's not on the pod. And then all of a sudden they come on and they say, oh, actually, psych, he's just leaving. It made no sense. So it's like all those comments that they're talking about weren't necessary. And it didn't make it impossible for him to come. I thought Jasleen convinced him that it doesn't matter who thinks that. Only God and us know what, matters, babe. What happened to that? Get out of here.
Exist because that would require admitting that the Flagrant episode where they brought Jasleen on the show trolled
like
their
I'm
audience
covering-
about how
I feel like I'm covering Al. I need to. There we go. Maybe we can see Al better.
ridiculous the whole thing was and pretended it was all one
Stupid,
big
stupid,
misunderstanding
stupid.
completely failed.
So
And now
stupid,
that
so
episode looks
stupid.
even worse than it did at the time because it wasn't a big misunderstanding after all. If it was, Akaash wouldn't have quit the show. He would have just
Literally.
ignored it and kept showing up
Yeah.
until all the chatter died down.
Right.
So clearly it wasn't this big troll. There's some deeper issues there that Akaash realized he needed to sort out because even just a few weeks ago,
Embarrassing.
he was still lying to himself about what actually happened.
I need to know exactly whose idea it was to do that. It was so stupid. That episode was beyond dumb. It didn't do anything to help the problem. It just made it like they were making fun of the situation. But the audience, or at least me, my immediate reaction was like, you guys are making a joke about this. It's not a joke. Like, this is his life. This is his career. This is his income. Like, this isn't a joke. She's embarrassing him. Like, she's his masculinity, his manhood, his balls. His balls are missing. Okay. They're in the grasp of a devil serpent demon woman, and she won't let go. And they're like laughing about it. Like, are you guys friends or not? Like, help your boy. Like, don't laugh at your boy's pain. That's how it felt. It felt like we're just gonna make a joke out of this situation. It's like, the situation's not a joke. That's the problem.
Realize in the space that you function in a podcast world, because you guys are very, very famous. I didn't realize like people were giving your wife a hard time for standing up for you or having an opinion.
No, she said shit that if I said it, everybody would say it was a joke. And she and I have because we've only had sex.
Okay, so Akaash, if you were sitting in a room with Andrew and Jasleen, and you started talking about Andrew's wife and how you'd want to bang Andrew's wife, everyone in the room would have a problem with that. Every person. Okay? The internet would also say, bro, what are you saying? Okay? We wouldn't be like, oh, he's a comedian, he's joking. So if you were saying the same kinds of things that she was saying, oh, I bet she has a, deep vagina. Like, what? No, it's not oh, if you would say it, it's fine. It's not, okay? Or if you went around telling everybody that her parts smell disgusting. Oh, like a homeless man. No.
With each other. She and I have a relationship where it's like, I don't give a f what you say. She can give a f what I say.
It was bizarre to me because I'm like, my husband can go on stage and literally
he's
has
a comedian.
Joke in his special about
God.
getting a hooker isn't like cheating, it's just outsourcing, which I really don't care. Like, I think it's a funny joke, but it's like, if I say something that's equally,
you're not a comedian.
raunchy, like, then I'm a whore or all these things.
Yo,
she's comparing apples to not apples. Like, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. He's a comedian. You are not. That's one. Okay. Two, like, there's so many. There's 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't even, we'd be here all day.
Crazy how far this has gone. And everything she gets said, y'all are chopping up. And I've probably done this with 1,000 famous people, so I don't knock the people who did it.
Sure.
She just kind of kept that energy. She was like, whatever y'all think about me is whatever y'all think about me. I know who I am. God knows who I am. That's it.
See,
I know,
this is
God
what kills
knows.
Me. Akaash's whole defense has always been that Jasleen isn't a comedian, so when he says wild shit on stage, it's a joke, but when she does it, people just don't understand, except she wasn't trying to be funny. She was dead serious on her podcast talking about another dude's 10-inch wang, and then in that other interview, she's comparing herself to Akaash's stand-up material, saying that if he can joke about getting hookers, then she should be able to say whatever she wants. That's not how this works. He's a professional comedian performing material on stage. She went on a podcast nobody asked for and humiliated him in front of millions of people.
For no money.
Are not the same thing. And then Akaash nearly had a moment of self-awareness where he admitted he's done the exact same thing to 1,000 famous people, chopping up their clips, making fun of their worst moments, but it sailed right over his head. He couldn't connect the dots between what he does for a living and what was being done to him. Not to mention his whole stand-up act is based around doing relationship-style crowd work and roasting couples in the crowd, and his wife's whole energy throughout all of this was just, I know who I am, God knows who I am, that's it. As if the internet was the problem and not the thing she was actually saying on camera.
Literally.
She completely gaslit him into believing that she's the victim, and look, he bought it. None of this shit makes sense. Let's just lay out the logic here for a moment before I get into Schultz and Charlemagne roasting Akaash and Jasleen. So she starts a podcast with her friend, comes out and says all this wild shit about her sexual fantasies, about her history with other guys, admitted she had a roster of frat boys that she used to hook up with. She started posting thirst trap.
Notice this is all about like sex and her sex life. Why are you talking about sex in your sex life? Why? Like, what are you doing? Just talk about the weather. Talk about housewives. Talk about, I don't know, traveling. Talk about so many other things. Like, you don't need to talk about Akaash. Like, okay, perfect example, when Emma had she had like a cooking Instagram. It was all recipes. She was talking through like how to cook stuff. Oh my God, it was great. And you'll see that Andrew and Charlemagne were like, with the whole clip, like, keep your wife off the internet. They mean in this sense, where Jasleen's talking crap about Akaash. Because when Emma was posting her cooking content, nobody cared. Everyone thought it was great. Everyone was supporting her. We all loved it. It was so good. Her recipes were fire. It was nothing like, it was embarrassing to their family.
Cringe on Instagram and TikTok of a day in the life of a rich comedian's bored housewife and her flirting with her physiotherapist while her ass was out on show. She refuses to kiss Akaash in public, turned her face to the side even when he proposed to her, and then made up some bullshit excuse when she was on Flagrant. Everyone clipped it up and said that she was out here humiliating her husband.
So, okay, that's the only thing I will give her, because when you are foreign, okay, and they're Indian, I'm foreign, so I understand what she means by that, because from birth, you're taught that PDA is like gross. Like you can't, PDA is so embarrassing and disrespectful. Like that's kind of like what you're taught. I'm not saying it's right. It's just what they teach you and kind of how you're raised. So even like even at our weddings and in a lot of foreign weddings, you do not kiss at the wedding. Like there's no public display of any affection, even at the wedding. So I can understand her not wanting to be affectionate in public. Who knows if she dodges him in the bed and at home, that's different. But that is the only thing I will give her in this entire situation is that, because I understand it and it is actually a thing.
Akaash defends her publicly, but apparently behind the scenes he was telling her to stop. Instead, she doesn't listen. She doubles down, then triples down, refuses to stop humiliating him. It gets so bad that he disappeared for a few months to focus on his stand-up. Meanwhile, the Flagrant comment section is 99% Akaash trolling in every single episode. He realizes he's not beating this, and so he quits the podcast. And somehow...
Him coming back would have helped. This idea that he's like, I'll just disappear and I'll go away. No, because everyone's going to be like, oh, you're hiding. Come back, then it'll disappear. Why on earth did he think disappearing would make it go away?
Wait for it. Through all of that, his wife Jasleen is the victim. Bro threw away over 100K per month so his wife could express herself on fucking Instagram. As for Schultz, he's acting all supportive of Akaash, giving him space and letting him do his thing. But at the time, he told all of us what he really thought about this whole situation.
I'm brilliant idiots.
Talking about pleasuring our wives over here, man. Just tell us what's up. Man. It's all good. Hey, man,
Are
just
there
tell us what's up.
What happened, man?
stars that
Akaash wife
know-
made you want to not be married? What happened, bro? You want to be?
Yo, when you locking it down, yo? When you locking it down?
What happened?
And I'm never gonna tell the world. I ain't going through that shit. That shit is crazy.
What happened?
I didn't realize we had Akash's picture.
I don't like what they've been doing to Akaash the past few weeks, man.
Yo, free Akaash.
You don't like what they've been doing, or you don't like what she's been doing?
I ain't
Man.
seen the
Free Akaash. Free
I haven't seen
Akaash.
this.
Gotta hit the Timbs on the
Keep your
ground.
wife off the
motherfucking
internet.
internet. Why does your wife have a microphone in her face? Do not allow your wife to
Literally.
start a
Literally.
podcast, bro.
Yes.
Okay, there can be one entertainer in this family.
Me.
It shall be me. I'm the comedian. I'm out here on this road and I'm out here getting the money.
Yep.
Let me use some of
Yep.
this money to help you do some other things, yo. Because you don't need a microphone in your face because you're going to fuck around and ruin us. All right?
Us and ruin
Not
the
just
bag. You're gonna ruin the
They
bag.
call her chicken curry.
you. God damn.
Okay, we're stopping at chicken curry. I can't. It's just so. It's so sad how this saga has unfolded. Okay, I'm so sad for him. Oh my God. R.I.P. Akaash.